Good day and welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are still doing well and are able to still be riding as the weather here, anyway, is slowly starting to get cooler. I thought that today I would touch on a topic that is somewhat controversial, and that is motorcycle engine oil. Now, I will first say that I am not a certified motorcycle mechanic. I am just somebody with about 20 years of riding experience. And over those years, I've done quite a few services on my bikes and rode through all kinds of conditions in a very wide variation of temperatures. So first, let's have a quick go over of what your oil actually does. Your oil is one of the most essential fluids in your bike. It is a lubricant. It creates a coat separating two surfaces. Oil usually has some anti-wear properties to develop a thin protective film on surfaces. It also provides sealing, cleaning, corrosion protection, noise reduction, and also, very importantly, cooling. The Milwaukee 8 engine, for example, is an air and oil-cooled engine. As far as the types of oil, there are mineral-based oils, semi-synthetic, and fully synthetic. Mineral-based are the least expensive of the three and are not as effective as synthetics. They flow slower and break down quicker, leading to increased engine change intervals. Semi-synthetics are a combination of mineral and synthetic. They will perform better and are more cost-effective than going to the full synthetic. Fully synthetic oils go through more sophisticated modifications. They will perform well in larger displacement engines and can handle a larger amount of stress under those heavy loads. But they are the most expensive. However, they will last longer and provide better and top engine protection. As for changing intervals, each type of oil is different. Mineral could be changed somewhere between 3,000 to 3,500 kilometers or 2,000 miles. Semi-synthetics say they could be changed around 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles. And synthetics changed at 10 to 11,000 kilometers or 7,000 miles. Now, to be honest, I change my oil much earlier than those points. Even when I'm using fully synthetic, I tend to change it at 4,000 kilometers, which is about 2,500 miles. The reason being is that it tends to be when my oil gets pretty dark. The darker, the dirtier. I've always changed my oil earlier than specified. If I was using just standard Harley oil, I would change it at about 3,000 kilometers or 1,800 to 2,000 miles. But it's different strokes for different folks. There is nothing wrong with dropping your oil if you think it needs to be changed, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, there are loads of motorcycle engine oil brands out there. Obviously, you have your Harley Davidson oil, you have AMSOIL, Royal Purple, Mobil One, Valvoline, etc. Every one of these has its good points, and every one of these have its fans. There are people out there who will swear by one brand or the other. I'm not sure you could point to one or the other and say that it is far and away the best brand overall. I can't say I have used all the brands out there. I usually have stuck with Harley's oil, usually the Syn 3, but for a while I used AMSOIL in my twin cams, and it was mostly for heat reduction. My twin cams put out a lot of heat, and it seemed that using the AMSOIL seemed to make the engine run a little cooler. Now, I did not do any testing on this. It was more just the feel. It could also have all been in my head too, so hard to say. In the end, they may not be all made equal, but it's not always true that one is any better than the next. I've seen multiple tests and videos showing various number of oil brands being superior to the next. One will say Harley, the next will say AMSOIL, the next Royal Purple, and so on. Each brand will have its argument as to why they are the best. Now, the big question is, what should you use? The question, along with how often to change your oil and what brand to use, seems to be the focus of a lot of debate. And as I said at the start of this video, I am not a motorcycle mechanic. And believe me, there are a lot of people on YouTube that are quote-unquote experts and will tell you that you have to use this type and brand of motorcycle oil. And I, as pretty much everyone else on the internet, have my own opinion. I do not think that you could go wrong with any of the brands on the market, providing you change them when they need to be changed. That might mean shorter oil change intervals or a little more money spent. I also think that you should pick your engine oil based on the type of riding you plan to do. If you are someone who is riding a lot through varying temperatures and conditions, you may want to consider a quality synthetic. You may not want to go that route if you're just riding from time to time as a fair weather rider. But that's just my opinion, and some may disagree. As for what I do, I currently use the Syn 3. I use it in the engine, the primary, and the transmission. Now, why do I use Syn 3, you may ask? It may not be the best synthetic on the market, but it is fine for what I need and is readily available. I sometimes had to search around the city if I wanted something else like AMSOIL. And I don't ride overly hard, but I ride in a varying amount of temperatures. Through our riding season, I will be in temps of around 0 all the way up to the mid 90 degrees. And like I said before, I change the oil before the recommended service intervals. And that goes for the primary and the transmission oil as well. But you should choose the oil that best suits your riding. And that's the best advice I can give you. But really, that's about it for today. I would be interested to know what you folks out there use for oils. So let me know in the comments, because the more information we have, the better for all of us. But anyway, you guys keep getting out there on those bikes, and we will see you in the next one.